Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hey, what's up? It's Kevin.
Hey guys, this is John.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Everybody loves a winner. Everyone can see that I am. Everybody follows the leader, baby. Cruising down the streets inside.
What's up, everybody? We're back to talk a little bit more about Kickboxer.
Hey guys.
Or a lot more about Kickboxer, let's be honest.
A lot more. At least 12 and a half minutes worth or so.
There's so much to unpack.
Always.
So this is the third episode. On the last episode, we talked about how American kickboxing champion Eric Sloan had been hospitalized after fighting the Thai kickboxing champion Tong Po.
Brutal.
He was paralyzed in the fight after a cheap shot from Tong Po. And then his brother, Kurt, played by Van Damme, has cruised around Bangkok trying to find anyone who will teach him Muay Thai with little success. But his countryman, Winston Taylor, volunteered to take him to meet a guy who lives out in the woods called Zian, who just might be crazy enough to train him. So Zian put him through his paces a little bit. Zian sent Kurt into town where he got in a fight with a couple of Freddie Lee's goons. That's the guy who runs Tong Po and crime in the area, I guess. All this made Zian very happy. So Zian has agreed to teach him Muay Thai now.
That's all it takes. Beat up some goons at the grocery store and you're in like Flynn.
Pick him up his rice and his eggs and his honey or whatever else.
Cobra heads and get to it. Yeah, so early the next morning, Kurt is awakened by Tien dumping water on him, which is a dick move.
I mean, let's first acknowledge the fact that Zian had Kurt sleeping out on the front porch on the ground.
Into that.
Does he not have a bedroom? Does he not have
hot, It's hot in Thailand, so I can kind of understand the sleeping out on the front porch where it's like hot and humid.
This movie glossed over mosquitoes.
It also glossed over Kurt's skimpy pajamas.
They're baggy, but like in the right way, if you know what I mean.
No, these when he first gets woken up, it's where he's wearing like a skin tight tank top because that's what you wear when you're Van Damme, and he's wearing some like super short like blue nylon shorts. Like they look like dance shorts. They're so short, or like cheerleader shorts. They're super short.
This is before Zian gives him clothes.
That's right. So clothes. Yeah, he wakes Kurt up by throwing the water on him and tells him to change clothes. And when we next see Kurt, he's now wearing some peasant garments.
Yes.
And Tien is doing some Tai Chi type meditative flow in the yard.
Yeah. So Kurt sort of starts to mimic what Zian is doing.
Yeah, the balance on that stunt person is incredible. I love martial arts, and I just think that it's so cool to see someone with that much facility and mastery over their body. But yeah, Kurt's trying to mimic Tien and until he does this like fancy spinning kick thing. And then you see like Kurt being visibly frustrated.
Right. There's no way this was actually Dennis Chan who was playing Tien. But I mean, it was a really good stunt double though.
Yeah.
Like it looked from behind. I mean, but he had the same exact build.
Yeah.
He's probably a little younger, perhaps.
Right. So Tien turns to Kurt and gestures that he should try again. And it's at that moment while Kurt's trying to go through his Tai Chi that Tien notices an eagle flying overhead, which... What is that supposed to mean at that moment?
Right. It's the beginning of this eagle motif that continues, but it's never explained what the significance is.
Not one time.
But whatever it is, Zian seems impressed.
Yeah. Yeah. Tien's then seen giving Kurt theoretical fighting lessons on the porch, talking him through how to breathe correctly when striking and protecting, tells him to breathe out when he's striking someone. And that's like the one aspect of martial arts, which I feel like Van Damme has down. That long exhale, like scream when he hits someone.
Van Damme is also the master of like staring at his own fist after hitting someone. Like you just, and saying,
Yeah,
in slow motion, always.
Yeah, Kurt always, 100% of the time. Tien tells him to breathe out when he's striking someone, and then to give like a short, compact inhale or grunt. That's supposed to help you like protect when you're getting hit. And if you can do both at the same time, Kevin, you're gold, pony boy. Like,
well, yeah.
So Kurt seems sort of incredulous about this doing both at the same time business.
Right.
And it's at that moment that the eagle shows up again. Apparently, that's a red-backed sea eagle for you ornithological types out there. It's a nice-looking bird.
Is it actually native to Thailand?
That I didn't look up. I just wanted to know what kind of bird that was.
I would hope so. It was a beautiful bird. No, that it came around because it knew that Kurt had those veterinary skills.
That's right. He's Beastmaster. Later he names the bird Sharak.
Sharak. Yeah, but no, the maybe the eagle was having some type of problem with its talon or something. He's like, after you're done with this training, can you tell me out?
Can you take a look at this? Do I need to do something to it? Do I need to rub something on it? So that night, Kurt's practicing his striking and nang. But by the next morning, it's time to practice the protecting part. By doing what? By doing what, Kevin?
Xian wants him to lay down on his back on the porch, and he's going to drop some type of massive gourd onto his belly.
Yeah, this goes about like you'd expect it to go.
How heavy do you think that thing was? I mean, it hit him like a bowling ball or something.
I'm going to say that even if I'm going to say 12 pounds, 10 pounds.
So bowling ball-ish.
Yeah, I think that's probably about what it weighs.
Okay, yeah, that'd pack a wallop.
I feel like if you're not prepared for that, you're going to that's going to fuck your shit up.
Yeah, no, and Kurt was definitely not prepared.
Yeah, I feel like this is the sister scene of the Bloodsport scene when Tanaka's bamboo caning Dukes' midsection, Singapore judicial system style.
No doubt.
Have you ever done that weird thing that guys do, where they're like, punch me in the stomach, or if someone punches you in the stomach, like when you were a teenager, like a preteen or something like that? Sometimes
I would sort of, I don't know, even to this day, I'll sort of punch myself in the stomach as I clench my gut just to see what it's like. Yeah. And I feel like from the height of that first gourd drop, which was like maybe 3 to 4 feet above him, that shouldn't have fucked him up as bad as it did.
You know what? Maybe we're being overzealous with the weight of that gourd. Maybe it's only like 5-6 pounds, but still,
that's a pretty dense gourd to be more than 5 or 6. But
let's say 5 or 6 pounds max. So that way we won't kill him.
That way, and so basically what we learn is that Kurt is still very much a novice.
That's right. Later on, Kurt's jogging, and he's cut the cumbersome bottoms of his pants off at Johnny Angle, so he sort of looks like Bruce Banner post Hulk.
They were expertly tattered.
Yeah. Xian stops him and tells him a piece of raw meat will help him run faster. And so he ties it to Kurt's waist, and Xian's dog Kiki chases him off into the jungle.
Did you read where this was inspired, Van Damme says, by his real life training, in which his instructor had him attacked by dogs to try to work on his balance? Now he says he was wearing one of those big padded protective suits.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm into that. I bet that then.
But still,
yeah,
that's a little crazy. That sounds like a Frank Duke story.
Yeah, it does. Only he would have been fighting wolves naked.
Yeah, he was naked, lathered in like oil, baby oil, in the snow, of course.
Yeah. Later on, Mylee comes by to deliver some groceries and tells Xian what Kurt did to Freddie Lee's goons, and Xian's sort of stoked about it. He's saying he's like super happy.
Yes, he's like, I wish I could have done that myself for you a long time ago, basically. and that Kurt will get away with it, right?
He's American. That's a very American way to think about that situation, too.
Right. I mean, I thought we'd already established that Freddie Lee would kill everybody.
Yeah.
So Mylee, I don't know.
Mylee, like you and I, isn't so sure about it. But Cien says he will learn my way. And Mylee buttles off to make dinner.
Yes. Now, this is where we see in the background Kurt is sort of returning with a bundle of firewood.
Yeah.
And Mylee sort of tries to quickly primp her hair or something. Like,
she wants to look cute.
I know. I think there's a mutual thirst going on between the two of them.
So as you alluded to, Kurt's returning with firewood. His pants are long again. So maybe
he's got a couple of changes or something.
He has 2 workout outfits. Cien is short-tempered with him because he says that he's late for dinner, which clearly isn't ready. He just sent Mylee to make dinner.
Yes. I don't know why Cien is being like this. He's pretending like he's upset. And then I was thinking, like, is he pretending to be upset about him wrecking the store? I think that he can sense that he and his niece are going to bone, and he's not happy.
He's trying to tamp that down ahead of time. He's trying to get out in front of the situation before it gets worse.
I mean, it pays out over dinner as well.
Yeah. So over dinner, Kurt apologizes for causing Mylee trouble. He is obviously trying to mac on her, and Cien like the equivalent of slapping him from across the table. Eat your food.
Yeah, I definitely think that he's cock blocking. Yeah, but I think that's why he was mad when Kurt came back with the firewood.
We can agree that Kurt's game is not strong, but Mylee seems to be picking up what he's putting down anyway.
Well, there's that whole thing of, you like something exotic, I guess, that you don't see every day. So I'm sure that she has not seen too many Belgians
too many Westerners, too many white boys. Later, Kurt is walking with Mylee at twilight and telling her about his childhood. I don't know that we needed to hear the exact same story again, but I guess it was to set up Mylee's similar sad family story.
Yeah, at least this is a backstory that Kurt doesn't already know.
Right.
So it's a step up from his conversation with Eric.
His own backstory that he knows so well. Yeah, so Mylee reveals that she never knew her parents, that her family was taken when she was a baby.
Right, it's intriguing. I don't know my Thailand history.
Yeah, I don't either.
I read that somewhere back like in the early 70s, there was some sort of back and forth between pro-communist and anti-communist groups. I don't know if that's what happened, or if her parents got swept up in it or something like that. But yeah, she's got an intriguing backstory, I guess.
She says that she's happy to have her Uncle Tien. I wonder if it's mom's brother, dad's brother. It doesn't really matter. Is it a family of martial artists? Who knows? Kurt says that Cien's very different. Mylee says that he's wise, and that if Kurt stays, he'll make him the best that he can be, which that we all need a Cien in our life. Then Kurt asks this weird question, like, will you help? And I'm like, do you mean like with food or what?
He means something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to need all the help I can get.
Which is just...
He's trying so hard.
Well, he plays it off sort of like pathetically, like earnestly, like I'm going to need some help. But it just is... It's weird. It feels weird.
I thought it was creepy, and it was clear he was talking about something else.
She asks if he must fight Tong Po, which I feel like we've been round and round this with several characters already. And he says he has to, but then immediately shifts gears to tell her she's beautiful. There's a swell of synth strings, and he plants one on her.
Yeah, so he's easily distracted. Let's just say that.
He's like, yes, I must fight. Now let's make out.
This will help me with my training.
Yeah. She takes off Sweet Scooter.
Oh, yeah, the little moped or whatever.
I bet that's fun as shit, cruising through the dark forest at night on that little scooter, but whatever.
I know. That thing, you hit a tree root and you are head over heels.
You're fucked.
So as she goes riding off into the pitch black jungle on her moped, Kurt is sort of, he's biting his lip in a way that's just like, he is.
Kurt. He wants to make it with Mylee.
He wants to make it with the champ.
She wants to make it with the champ's
She does
brother.
want to make it with the future champ.
Well, we have to remember.
She wants to make it with the champ's brother.
We have to remember that Kurt didn't get to bone when they first got to Bangkok. It was all Eric's fun and games. So
I will say, at this point, 1989, Van Damme was a beautiful, beautiful man.
He was
a specimen.
He was cut. Cut.
I mean, incredible.
So next day, Tien's taken Kurt to train at the Stone City. He says that many ancient warriors trained here, and that while Kurt's training, he should listen with his mind, heart, and whole being. And this place looks amazing.
Yeah, dude, the visuals on this location are incredible. I mean, to me, it's one of the most striking things about the whole movie are like all the scenes that are at this setting.
Yeah.
You picture these ancient ruins like deep in the jungle or something like that. But in reality, the location is the ruins of Ayutthaya City, which is like sort of in the middle of a thriving, crowded area outside of Bangkok.
Okay.
So I think if they were to turn the camera around, you'd see traffic and
that's cool.
People, whatever, doing their shopping and all that.
It's crazy. Yeah, I read that this place is called the actual temple where they are inside this ancient city was called the Wat Ratchaborana, and that it's a World Heritage Site from UNESCO.
Yeah.
And apparently this city, the Ayutthaya, that you said used to be the capital of Thailand, back in the day, and that at its peak it had 1,700 temples and more than 4,000 Buddha statues.
You can see why. I mean, it is incredible.
It's crazy.
It's that kind of free production value that the movie has, where they're like, we didn't have to build this; it was just here. We got the rights to shoot around it, and it looks
amazing.
It makes the movie seem a lot more epic than your average. Whatever.
Totally.
B to C to D level action flick.
Right. And viewers may remember a lot of the scenery in these scenes as being in Mortal Kombat. A lot of this stuff.
Same setting.
Yeah.
Those ruins in Mortal Kombat. Oh, that's cool.
I think it's where Liu Kang is at the beginning of the first Mortal Kombat.
There's a bad special effects lightning storm happening in the background. Yeah.
Exactly. So Tien tells Kurt that he must learn to be faster than any strike to avoid getting hit. And I'm like,
that's a good strategy.
Yeah, no shit. Thanks. Am I paying for this? And then he starts jabbing him with these padded poles right in the face, and thus starts montage number 3, Kevin.
Yes, and the eagle is watching.
Sharak returns. And it's like,
dude,
it's
that
weird.
eagle is so rad, though.
But it's like open mouth staring. It's sort of unsettling. It's just like, I guess that's what eagles do.
I think that's what they do. I needed more eagle scream sound effects in the film, like the every single time a cutaway,
or even when it's sitting there with its mouth open, like clearly not making that sound, but you just hear it.
If that had happened, I could have used a lot more of that. That would have enhanced my viewing experience.
So Tien has him, among other things, kicking at these wooden contraptions with 4 targets on them.
Do you think, did Zien build all these things?
Oh, yeah, totally.
These are not store-bought. You can't.
No.
He are all wrapped them in leather and... Yeah,
Tien, he's a crafty guy. Yeah, he has Kurt kick the pads that he points at. Some good balance from Kurt, but then on a particularly high kick, we hear his leg creaking and making terrible tearing sounds, which leads to Kurt getting limbered up on a torture machine.
Yes, he's stretching him out. He's got him laid down, ropes tied around both legs, much like Bloodsport again.
Yeah, for those of you who would count in this movie, this is the first legit patented Van Damme split in the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think this is how you get flexible, though. By being just torn apart.
Yeah. No.
I can't see it. The sound effects, you can hear what sounds like cloth ripping and stuff. I don't know if that's supposed to be his loins or what.
Yeah, just shit creaking and tearing, and Van Damme must think that this is the coolest shit that he can do because it's the trick he keeps coming back to the well of his split ability.
Splits are his trademark, though.
My character will train, and then whoever I'm playing has to be ripped in half. That's the training. So later, while Kurt visits Eric in the hospital, and maybe also to have his groin area operated on, we see Eric's sweating profusely and having some kind of feverish nightmare.
Yeah, I think he was dreaming about Tong Po. Is night terrors.
Either that or he's got sepsis, one of the two.
Yeah, he is he's probably running 103-degree fever.
He looks rough. The next day, Tien is in his garden playing a synth wind instrument.
Well, he's holding an instrument.
He's holding a bamboo flute.
But what we're hearing is definitely not coming from that instrument.
Yeah. He's sitting next to his water aerobics instructing pond.
He's got Kurt like training underwater. I used to mimic this like in a swimming pool when I was little.
That's so fun. I was going to say, if you were a man of a certain age who loved this movie and others like it growing up, you've mimicked this scene in a swimming pool.
And you get like very mild resistance against your kicks and your punches. But yeah, it is, dude. Oh yeah. I used to do that regularly.
Then we have Tien having Kurt kick a palm tree with Mylee looking on. Kurt's wincing in pain after each kick until he can't go anymore, and Tien declares that the tree is the winner. Mylee laughs at him, which I thought was kind of a dick move.
I mean, that had to shrivel Kurt's dick up a little bit, like he had laughed at.
The kicking the thing, that part gets me. I'm like, oh yeah, I can just imagine how bad that, like, any contact to your shin hurts anyway.
Oh yeah.
Painful.
Yeah, dude. It's memorable. If you watch this movie a lot, you definitely remember his battles with the palm tree.
Elsewhere, Tong Po is beating the hell out of some random fighter, and I just figured that this scene was implanted just to remind us that Tong Po's still around and that opponents can't seem to make headway on him.
He's just wastes this guy. Yeah.
I guess he's fortunate that Tong Po didn't decide to try to kill him willy-nilly.
Well, that's where it had me like, if Tong Po is like just packing him in, you know, like it just, if he's so profitable as a fighter, it's strange that they're also making him do gangster shit on the sides. Yeah. Like, you know, presumably he could wind up getting killed or going to jail, and then you've lost your champion.
Right.
You know, but whatever.
Freddie Lee in a different colored silk shirt and his main goon look on in approval.
The main goon, I don't think they ever gave him a name, but yeah, he was always rocking that little canvas vest, khaki vest, usually like a striped shirt under that.
He looks like a photographer.
Very much. He looked like he was ready for safari or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, back at Stone City, Kurt's practicing high kicks and spinning jump kicks. This is Van Damme's meat and potatoes.
That's that trademark shit, dude. Yeah. The jumping, spinning kick. Absolutely.
I love to think that like Menachem Golan showed up on set that day and was just like off camera going, do more of the flying roundhouses. Just keep doing it.
Is that the one where that he impressed on the street with his kicking? Is the story?
Yeah.
Incredible.
And I think that's the move where he was just doing that spinning kick in the air above his head.
Yeah, he went up above Zien's head with the kick. I mean, it's awesome to look at. I don't know how much power you generate, like if you were to kick somebody.
I don't know.
Probably not as much as if you just reared back and kicked hard. But
yeah, I think it looks it looks acrobatic, but probably not as effective in an actual fight. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe if you get some torque behind it, I'm sure you could do some damage.
Let's just say that it's very cinematic.
Yeah. Back at Cien's, Kurt is kicking the palm tree again with Mylee looking on. And why does she only swing by when it's time to kick the tree?
Well, she's there to provide that first aid that he's going to need after kicking the tree for a while.
Yeah. Kurt stops because it's too much. And I get it, brother. And Cien tells him, kick the tree.
Yeah. Now Zien is like, you know, he was joking around before, but now he seems like he's like, it's time to fucking get serious, dude.
Yeah. After another kick, Kurt quits again, and Cien tells him to take his bag and leave. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Harsh.
Kurt protests, and Cien sort of waves Mylee back, like, so you know that shit's about to get real. Mm-hmm. And Cien goes for a low blow and says, do you remember your brother? Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
Harsh.
That puts Kurt into like a rage. He starts rage kicking the tree.
You want this? What about this?
Yeah. And he's having flashbacks, I think, of his brother getting it. And he kicks that thing probably, I don't know, 20 times, 50 times more. It's just like quick cutting until the tree snaps off. Dude, the acting, though, Van Damme's acting, this is probably the best I've ever seen him perform, is this little bit, the rage,
Yeah,
you know,
agreed. Kurt goes down in a heap with his leg all cut and bloodied. Cien looks satisfied.
Dude, that shit, that would fuck you up. If your leg didn't break kicking the tree, which maybe it wouldn't, you would not walk for a week after that. you would be fucked up.
Yeah, your leg would be all split to the point of probably needing stitches because it would have laid the bone open probably, right? Because your shin bone is just there.
You probably break your leg. But if you somehow miraculously didn't, you would be laid up for a long time.
Well,
Mylee's there providing the first aid.
That's right. Well, luckily, Kurt had, another 2.5 months because we immediately transitioned to montage number 4 where he seems fine.
He's fit. There's no scarring on the leg, no stitches.
And Kurt has gotten in an indiscernible amount of time really, really good at all the things he struggled with only moments ago.
I guess he found his inner warrior or whatever now.
Yeah.
He's and
this is all very familiar meat and potato for Van Damme and these kind of movies, punching and kicking and making the sounds. Underwater kicking, pulley torture, split number 2, and Kurt loves it now. It feels fucking great.
He's like taking a nap during. But dude, Van Damme's body in this movie is it's perfect. Like, it's my dream body. If I could pick a body to inhabit,
he looks phenomenal. He's in somehow even in better shape than Bloodsport. I think. Like,
I feel like this or Christian Bale in American Psycho, or just like the bodies that I'm like, oh my gosh, if I could just, I would.
You'd stuff a cat in an ATM for a body
I
like
would
that?
feed a cat to an ATM to spend a couple of years inhabiting that physique. Yeah, incredible. Like, every muscle perfect, not too big, and not too ripped or roided up or whatever.
Putting that time in the gym for cereal.
Do you have a body that you idolize that you're like, yes, this is what I would like to achieve?
That's a good question. I would have to give it. I don't think I would ever be able to achieve it, but a pretty common answer, I feel like, for men of a certain age that saw Fight Club would say Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
Yes. He was like lean though. Yeah, he was quite lean, muscular and ripped, but lean.
I would say that I would settle for the still very attractive body of a 50-something-year-old Brad Pitt today.
Oh yeah, dude. Did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Yeah, he's still working it.
Yeah, he's still killing it.
Never in my best day have I ever looked at a tenth of that. Yeah. Good for you, Brad Pitt, and also fuck you.
Yeah.
I hope you fall off that roof.
Yeah. So we assume weeks of training time have passed because he's so good at everything now. And it's capped off with Tien dropping gourds from the top of a tree onto Kurt's belly again, ready to protect. Yeah. And then
it's kind of like, it's almost like a reveal. Like, you know, they show just how high he is, and he's 30 or 40, 50 feet up.
40 or 50 feet in the air. It's unreal. And then he drops and it hits him and he's like, nah, I'm okay.
And
then surprise, Tien drops another one that Kurt isn't expecting. And then that would absolutely rupture internal organs if you were not. Oh yeah. I think that it would at least I don't know, some like severe abdominal mess would happen to you, I think, from that height. Like maybe rupture, like Houdini died from a ruptured appendix. Like if you weren't prepared for it the right way, that could rupture something.
Yeah, but I mean, this is Kurt, the kickboxer. He is prepared.
This is Kurt Sloan. You're right.
Kurt never got a nickname, did he? No, yes, he does get a nickname. We'll get to it.
Yeah. Okay. So back at the hospital, Eric's in a wheelchair.
He's seems like he's getting close to being able to get out of the hospital there.
That's right. He is recovering on schedule, or maybe ahead of schedule.
We see that his libido remains intact.
Yeah. He grabs the nurse's ass to the amusement of all the men. He's going to be all right, everybody. He's going to pull through.
He's like, he's still got something to live for.
He hasn't lost his true purpose in life.
Which is obviously to make women's lives a living hell. It's like, God, do you remember that shit in Born on the 4th of July? They're like all the quadriplegic vets are down in Mexico and just like hookers everywhere.
Or like Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Because I can only imagine, actually, it's going to take a dark turn if we talk much further about it. But let's just say Eric's found something to live for. How
That's
about
right.
that?
a new purpose in life. If he can't kickbox, he's gonna grab ass.
Grab box.
That's right.
Never mind. Okay. All right. So
Cutting back to Xian's, Mylee asks Kurt if he wants to go for a walk after lunch.
Of course he does.
I love Xian's ongoing gag, don't step there.
Yes,
so funny.
No, his delivery cracks me up because when he's got the deadpan, don't step there.
That's so funny.
Win a palm tree. Like, yeah, when he's got jokes throughout, always at his students' expense.
And then in Thai, Xian tells Mylee that Kurt can't go to lunch because they're going for a special afternoon outing at a special place.
Which I know that this next scene is the reason that a lot of you are here. But yeah, I think you're just going to have to wait for it.
You're going to have to suck it up and sit tight for a week because that'll be coming next time.
We're going to talk about the splits. We're going to talk about the dancing.
All the gyrating.
It's coming.
That
all good things to those who wait.
It's all coming.
So yeah, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your stepbrother.
That's right. And cue in next week. We know you don't have anything better to do. You're all at home.
Yeah. All right. Check us out on your social media, your Instagrams and Facebooks and the like. And we'll be back with more Kickboxer very soon. We'll be back.